The title of the video, lacking control of your life. It's so obvious right now. You've seen it. We've seen it. I've seen it. They've seen it. What the heck? Literally, what the heck? We've been lied to. Parents lied to us. Family members lied to us. Relatives. Product of our environment is caused by others, influences. The things we see, the things we learn, the things we come to know about. It can even be through cartoons, animes, those things that we watched. But even then, those things are like more meaningful, and it's more truthful and honest than our families and people around us. Isn't it ironic? Very. It's like when we were young, we used to hate villains. When we are older, we understand the villains. Yeah, just like Tai Long from Kung Fu Panda, just like that guy from The Incredibles. Now you respect me because you fear me. Yeah. When everyone is super, no one will be. Megamind also, I don't really remember what he said, something like that. And then Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants, You can literally see how he is. Look at his face, He's down, long face. Why the long face? If we try to tell you why the long face, you wouldn't understand, you don't want to understand, you don't want to listen. So what's the point? We are born on our respective birthdays, respective time, respective year and all that, respective countries, respective environments, respective people, respective circumstances, this, that, these, those, and then we already have to conform. That's what they exploit big time. They exploit our youth, they exploit our naivete, being babies, being toddlers, being growing quote-unquote adults, because we are not raising kids, we are raising adults. So we are technically growing adults. Yeah. And even then, honesty and truth can't even be ingrained, which is absolutely idiotic. Obviously, they want to put all these lies and manipulations so that we can be the next product of our environment, be the next slave to society, to the society we live in. Wage cuck, wage slave with a rage on the page. What else? In a cage. Yeah. You need to call a sage. Okay, all seriousness. You just lack control. You don't work, you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't sleep. No shelter, Or you can sleep, but it's by the roadside and all that, where it's also dangerous. You could even get in trouble by the authorities, by cops. You can't sleep on the bench. You can't sleep here. You need to clear off. You need to clear out. Where else are you supposed to sleep, All you want is a good night's rest. And then these people, some homeless people try to get a job, but who would want to hire a homeless person? It's very rare. Unless you're freaking lucky, you can get a hostel or something, or a place where you sleep with others. The other workers there also are homeless and all. But then it's another thing, knock on wood, if they want to mess with you for no reason. When they're in the same shoes, in the same boat, and in the same circumstance as you, aren't you supposed to team up and work together and all that, work towards something big and prosperous? No. Every person, every Tom, Dick and Harry, every Jane, Jennifer and Sarah is out for themselves individually. Individualism. at its finest. It's a dog eat dog world. It's a survival of the fittest kind of narrative. But yeah, obviously we want good things, that's why we try to make the best out of it, or out of things in this existence, on this planet, even though it sucks. But you see, our inclination, our proclivity to go towards positivity, that rhymed, towards goodness, right? Community, getting together and all, like how our ancestors did. Doesn't that tell you something? It should. But you lack control. All these things are set in stone pretty much for you, and as well as myself. It really irks us. It really pisses us off. It really aggravates us. And then when we try to break out of it, there's always another thing that leads to another, to another, to another. Like a chain reaction. A link. And then we try to break the chains, at the weakest link. Another one pops up. Problems stacked. And I recently watched a video from a YouTuber, and I might as well say his name. Keith Church. That's the name of his channel. You can go watch that video where he had problems about his car. Oh my goodness. When I watched it, it was horrible. It's something like a product of your environment affects you. It's not your fault. It's your environment or something like that. But yeah, you can go give a watch, go listen, It absolutely sucks. How his car got hit by some idiot trying to change lanes, and then he was already in the right lane, and then that person, quote unquote, did not see him and then hit him. His car got dented. That driver's car also got dented. And then my guy also does not have insurance, so he's in deep waters, Just to summarize. I mean a brief synopsis, not summarize. You can go watch the video. That's all I'll say. And yeah. Money is everything. Money is God, As much as a lot of people still want to deny and they want to go to their religions, absolutely stupid. I know it's your cope, but yeah, that's it, cope. But if you want to shove it down other people's throats, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get effed up. I will F you up, I will just ignore you and all that, but if you want to bother me, we're gonna escalate things. I'm gonna call the cops also, harassment and all. But these people are like so dumb and idiotic, Imagine someone saying the world is paradise because they can order something from their home, Amazon, and it arrives at their doorstep, DoorDash, Oh, just because of those things, the world is a paradise? Do you not realize how stupid and retarded you sound? Seriously. I tell you, religion really corrodes people's minds. Just like how I watched the apostasy of Islam, and people in the comments said people who read the Quran stays in Islam. People who understands the Quran, leaves Islam. It is no different from Christianity. And also the J religion that rhymes with shoes. Yeah, that's where they belong for the most part. Shoes. Trample on them. Stomp. Curb stomp. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. I just want to try and be a little humorous. I don't want to be so monotonous, and even though I am already, and boring, I just want to be a little humorous and funny, even though I'm not. I used to be. A little sob story that rhymed. I used to be funny as heck, but nowadays I try to crack jokes. People think I'm so honest, and then they wanna start fights with me. It's like, what you say? No, relax. I'm just joking. No, say that again. I dare you. Exactly. So, and then ever since I stopped making jokes, and this was years ago. It's not recent. And that's also when I realized I can't make jokes anymore. You see, the things I used to have a lot of it is taken by the fucking universe. Stupid ass. Fuck you, universe. It took away most of the good things I had. I was supposed to be that guy. If you watch my Destined to be a Black Pillar, I was that guy. No, you're not that guy. Trust me, you're not that guy. No, shut your face. I was that guy. But anyways, lack of control in your life, in my life, in our lives. Told to do this, told to do that, told to do these, told to do those, against our will. And then the things that we find enjoyment in, satisfaction, obviously, is barred from what? You guessed it. No, not barred from, barred with money. Yeah, you don't have the means, you don't have the mullahs, you don't have the wherewithals, you can't encroach, you can't enter, no trespassing, no admittance. It's so idiotic. Things that we create from our imagination and creativities, entertainment and all that, and then we want to capitalize. Why? Because we live in a capitalistic society and existence. But if not, we'll be like the indigenous Americans and Canadians where there's heyokas. I might make a video about that one day. Heyoka. And heyokas are a sacred and magical and meaningful individuals towards those indigenous. You can go look it up. It's a empath. And I believe I am one, even though I'm not a indigenous. Maybe I have some indigenous in my blood. One day I'll find out. Even though I'm Asian. Yes, I'm from the continent of Asia, in case you did not know. I am from Asia. Living in Asia, not in the West or anything, in case you wanna judge by my English proficiency. Well, my country, a little bit of backstory, is colonized by the Brits, blah blah blah. You know how it is. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to get too deep into history. But yeah, a lot of things we do, we are pretty much compelled to do. Because we are told to do so. That's it. It's a weak excuse. You are supposed to do these things because you are told to do so, because we said so. A little bit like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Except, Stone Cold is entertaining, more entertaining than these idiots, these higher ups and authorities. Sitting back on their fat lazy asses, watching us suffer, and then we have to earn money for them, and then they're so filthy rich, like not even kidding, like stupid rich, and they still want more. You can go look up the Cree quote. I think it's Sioux or Cree, I'm not sure. When all the fish has died, all the water is dried out, all the trees have died, one day we'll realize we can't eat money. Yeah. I said it before in one of my previous videos. You can go check it out. I don't remember which one, but I did mention. I think I said Sioux. Sioux. It's not CO, it's not Sioux, it's Sioux. The indigenous Americans. Or Canadians. Whichever. But yeah, I love that quote. I love the quotes that they say and all that. I almost wish that I am part native. I hope I am. Even if I'm not, doesn't matter. We all belong to this earth anyways. It's not the land that belongs to us, it is us that belongs to the land. Exactly. I think that's Seattle, right? If I'm not mistaken. Chief Seattle. Sorry, I said the C word. I shouldn't say that, I apologize. Just the all respectful, all respectable, the most honored Seattle. Because I know that if you say the C word, it's offensive. You can't say the C word in front of the indigenous. I respect. But yeah, a little bit sidetracked and off on a tangent. We are compelled to do a lot of things against our will, told to do this, told to do that, these, those, even when we don't want, but it's either we do or suffer. And then people want to say free will. Oh, especially in Christianity. Free will. But if you don't, you can do whatever you like, but just know that you'll be punished. Yay. Just know that if you don't repent for your sins and your crimes and your wrongdoings, you'll be punished. Yay. Free will. No. And then also the topic of predestination. So what you talking about, huh? What are you talking about? And then some of the grimiest people are actually religious folks. Pay all your tithes. And then the next thing you see, they have a brand new branded item. A mansion, a bungalow, a villa, private jets. And all of you freaking idiots are still so naive. I'm absolutely baffled and mind blown and shocked by your naivete. Shame on you, honestly. You still want to pay all these tithes and whatnot. But yeah, most things are obstructed by money, obstructed by people's approval, and then you're judged. Be yourself, but then when you be yourself, you get judged. You get dirty looks. You have to keep up with the trends, keep up with the norms and all that. Otherwise you'll be stigmatized and become a taboo and all that, black sheep, scapegoat, outcasted. Especially in this region, in this continent. Excuse me. Probably will be in another video. Yeah, I think it will be another topic. And I think I rambled long enough. Lack of control in our lives. We've been robbed. And then we have to go to the J word, which further robs us because it doesn't pay us enough. And then shrinkflation, inflation, and all these and all that. All those and all this. Rights as earthlings, citizens of Earth, citizens of our countries robbed. Human rights is being taken away. We are being treated lesser than humans. Lesser than second-class citizens. Lesser than dogs. Wow. Lesser than cockroaches. I wouldn't be surprised if even roaches get rights. Roaches' rights. We are reduced to nothing. Worse than nothing. Imagine that. Entering this life and then people still want to have kids. You are dumb and retarded. That's all I gotta say. Beyoudoyou signing out now. Adios.